this dress? I need a pair of statement earrings for it. That's what we're working on today. So let's take a look at the dress. It's very watery. We've got white, a little bit of black. We have some blues, kind of seafoam green, turquoise-ish. It's sleeveless. I get cold, so I paired it with this little jacket. It has this chain here, so I'm probably not going to wear a necklace. And there's lots of sparkle. So I was going through my beads, picking out colors that will go with that dress. These go perfectly. Of course, I have myself an ear wire. And look at this. I love this form. I love chandelier earrings. I think they're very fun. And I'm thinking I'm going to make some links and just drop them down here and probably put a bead there. So let me show you how to make a link. So the materials you need besides your beads, I'm going to use 22 gauge wire. You could probably use 20 gauge wire. I'm going to use some round nose pliers. I got some wire cutters. They're flush cutters, so you can get in there really closely when you want to trim the wire. Some flat nose pliers. You might need some of these to straighten out the wire if it gets a little crimped. As far as the beads go, I'm using 6mm. You could use 4mm if you would like. Just make sure your wire is going to fit in the holes. Also, I'm using these colors, but you can use other colors and get a whole different look to your earring. So what I'm going to do is work right on the spool. I don't cut anything off until the very end, because that way I don't waste any wire. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bead onto the wire. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to work up here more. The lower you get, the wider your loop is going to be, and I want my loops to be pretty small. So I'm allowing about that much. If you wanted a more messier or bigger wrap, you can come down here further, but I don't want that big of a wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap my loop there a little bit, and I'm going to start out at the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and put my form on there. And just FYI, I have arthritis in my hands, particularly in my thumbs, and so I kind of struggle a little bit. And I'll leave my baubles in, because whenever anybody's making jewelry, you're going to have issues, and nothing's perfect. So if anything wrong happens, you can see how I correct it. Okay, so I have my form on there, and I want to make sure it does dangle, that I have my loop big enough for it to dangle. If it's too small, it'll be kind of tight, and then you won't get that dangle. Okay, once I have it how I want it, I'm just going to grab right there, and then I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times. And if you have any, excess there, you can trim it off like that. Make sure you put your finger over the wire so it doesn't fly across the room, maybe get in somebody's eye. So you still have a little burr there, and what you want to do is take your flat nose pliers and just kind of bend it, kind of tuck it in. Then you bring your bead down, and you're going to wrap another loop. And I want just 2 little wraps. There's 1 and 2. Okay, why? Okay, there it is. Oh, why it was being so blurry. I just wrapped around twice. Now's the time that I cut that off. Move your wire out of the way. And see how that's sticking out there? You want to take your flat nose pliers and tuck her in. And you got your first little dangle. Now, what I'm going to do is I got to wrap all these. I'm going to do that there. And then in the middle one, I'm going to change it up a little bit. And then on the other side will be the same. And then up here, I'm going to put that. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Now, if your wire gets kinked, that's when these come in handy. You can use your fingers, but I'm going to use this since I have it. But if you don't have it, you can just use your fingers. All right, so we're going to do another wrap. I'm going to put the bead on there like that. Make a loop. Okay, I'm shaky. There we go. Put that on there like that. And then wrap around it a couple times. You may have to adjust your loop a little bit. That's okay. But you do want to make sure you tuck these in. If you don't, they're going to scratch your neck and it's not going to be comfortable. And I usually take my finger and kind of feel around, see if I feel anything, which I still do. Okay, then drop your bead down. Make another loop. Wrap her around. Trim and tuck. All right, I got to do that this many more times. So I'll be back when I get it all put together before I put the ear wire on. All right, I have all the beads on the bottom. And one thing I could have done is I could have used maybe 3 here and 2 here, or I could have done like 1, 1 and done 2 here and then maybe dropped some beads at the bottom. But I decided not to do that. I wanted more sparkle. And we have the lawnmowers out there. I'm going to put this on hold until they're done. All right, they're gone. Now, where was I? Oh, okay. So I wanted a lot of sparkle, so that's why I used 3 crystals. They're just little glass crystals. And I know there's loops at the bottom, which a lot of times it's like there's a loop at the bottom. You need to hang something on it. But not necessarily, and especially when you look at this little form here, there's all kinds of loops. So that's just mimicking those loops. Now let's finish this off. So basically I'm going to do the same thing that I did here. Put my bead on the wire. I'm going to wrap a loop. I'm going to hang my form on there. I'm going to grab that loop like that, and then I'm just going to wrap a couple of times around. Now, if you get to a point where they're kind of not, let's see. See how there's a gap there? You can take your pliers and very carefully do that and make them go closer together. Okay, so now all I need to do is tuck that wire in. And then I'm going to bring my bead down and wrap another loop and just put my ear wire on there, and we're done. Now, these earrings do take some time. It took me about 30 minutes an earring, so you're talking about an hour to make these, to make a pair. So keep that in mind. It's not a really quick project, but you know what? Enjoy the process. Don't be in a hurry. Just take your time and use it as a therapy. Maybe put on a podcast or your favorite music. Or, you know what would be fun is to invite a friend over and you can both make some earrings together and just be a little chatty. That would be fun. I would invite my sister if she was closer. We would have fun. We would have fun doing this. All right. Now, the only thing I have to do is add my ear wire, but look at that. That's not going to work, is it? Well, what you need to do is just very carefully make sure that your loop is that way. And you can put your ear wire onto it. You just open it up at an angle. And then you put your earring on there. Now you want to make sure, see, that's backwards. You don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure it is the correct way, which it is. And then you carefully close it up. Make sure it is closed all the way. You don't want to lose your earring. And these are so fun, and they're not that heavy either. Oh, I love these. They're going to be so fun to wear. All right, I'm going to put these on. I'm wearing these big statement earrings right now. I got these on a cruise, I believe it's Dominican Republic, and they're really fun. I love chandelier earrings. I remember growing up in the 70s. I was in high school at the time. I used to wear chandelier earrings all the time. They were really, really popular. And I would just wear a t-shirt, kind of like how I'm dressed now. T-shirt, pair of jeans, put on my chandelier earrings, head out to school. I think I'm going to wear these today. I can dress them up with my dress, or I can wear them with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Let me know, do you like chandelier earrings or do you like the little bitty studs better? Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.